Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading on January 30th, 2018. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so to start things off, we will take a look at our Forex factory here. So today didn't have much in terms of critical data that came out. We did see US dollar strengthened a little bit, everything pulled back a bit. So let's see what we have coming up on the 30th here. So in the London session, we have preliminary CPI data and then economic barometer for Swiss franc. This net lending to individuals will be important for British pound here. And then we have preliminary flash GDP. So nothing really critical. But however, in the New York session here, we have consumer confidence numbers for US, so that will be very important. So it looks like we may get a bit of a bump there. And then we have Bank of England Governor Carney speaking. So anytime we see a central banker speaking, we normally get volatility in the market, so please be careful during that time there. We do have Bank of Japan summary opinions as well. It is not as important because there is really no one really speaking there, but I would pay attention to that as well. In the Asian session, we have CPI numbers for Australia, so those will be important, and then China numbers here as well. We also have President Trump speaking later at night. So with this one, what we have to be careful about is because since the start of his presidency, President Trump has been very bearish on dollar. He wants the US dollar to be weak so that the exports will get a boost. And last week was the first time he actually said anything positive in terms of the strength in the US dollar. So any of his comments that are related to currency strength will definitely have an impact, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So that's it for the news. And in terms of our charts here, we'll start off by taking a look at Euro US dollar here. So Euro dollar, I'm looking for a pullback here. We did see price pullback today, but we have red candle with a big pin in the bottom. So I'm looking for price to drop a bit here. The target here would be 1.2320. So looking for price to move down into this support. So over here, resistance turning into support. So if we take a look at it from our 1 hour perspective, what we see here is, so it's not that far in terms of where the price currently is. So I'm looking for it to drop further here. We could see the price go back higher before it drops. So we could see it come back towards 124.20 area, which is right over here, this previous support and resistance area, and then drop further. But based on the daily candle here, this looks like it may come down and test this previous high. Pound US dollar, we do see a pullback in pound dollar here as well, a bearish candle close. I'm looking for price to drop further, and the target here would be 1.3950 level. So looking for price to drop and come back into this previous support and resistance area, and then it may turn upwards. But for now, I'm looking for it to drop further. And target is 1.3950, which is also our S2 level. And then we have Aussie US dollar. Aussie US dollar is not as bearish. It is a bearish candle close. We are into this resistance area here. So we have a intraday double top here. So I am looking for price to drop. But right over here, it's a very small move. So that's why we have to be careful with this one. The target here would be into this support and resistance. So 80-50 area, or maybe into 80-20-ish level here as well, which is into our this resistance and this resistance right here. So looking for price to pull back, but between euro dollar and pound dollar, or compared to those, this is not as bearish, but looks like US dollar is strengthening a bit. We're seeing pullback, so that's why I would look for a pullback. So I'm looking for price to drop here. Target would be 0.8020. And if we take a look at the 1 hour chart, as we can see, price has sort of formed this shelf, and now I'm looking for it to drop. We could see price go and retest the high once again. And if that happens, then that would be a good potential level for a short. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, it looks like it's consolidating. We've seen a drop, consolidation, and then looking for another drop here. New Zealand US dollar, same thing here as well. We have had a bearish close for the day, looking for price to drop further. And in this case, in terms of our target, I am looking for 0.7265 level, or even into the 50 level. So 7250-ish level will be the target to the downside here. In this case, we had a huge drop and the other day, and since then price hasn't been able to really make its way higher. So we're seeing lower highs, sorry. So we're seeing lower highs, which shows weakness in this. So I'm looking for price to drop further into 72.50 area here. So this is New Zealand US dollar is bearish as well. Dollar CAD here tends to do the opposite of what the others are doing, other commodity currencies are doing. So in this case, looking for price to move up higher. And the target here would be 12400. To the top of these, so right into these previous support turning into resistance. That's what I'm looking for. So 1.2400 to the upside will be the target. So here as well, we are seeing lower highs, sorry, higher lows. It's so it's pulling back. So looking for price to move up higher into this previous support and resistance area, which is 2400. It is also S2. For our Euro Swiss franc, we have seen a pullback. This is where we are very, very neutral close for the day. We have come into this support here and price has reacted at this level. So this previous support and resistance level. At this point, this is how I'm looking at it. So trend is to the downside. And if price stays below this 1.1636 or 40 area, then we're looking for price to come down and test it. If it breaks to the upside, then we could go to the next level. So in that case, if it breaks above 1.1640 level, then we could get a morning star formation here. So at this point, the bias would be to the downside, just basically based on this previous trend here, looking for price to pull back and then drop. So target here would be 1.1540 level. So if we take a look here, this is, we've seen quite a few days of drop right here. So I'm looking for potentially price to go and test this level once again and give us one of these. So if it does that, if it does stay below 1.1640-ish level, then I'm looking for price to drop. However, if it breaks through here, then looking for this target, which is 1.1680 level. So that will be the way I would look at Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc here, we have a bit of a spinning top here, so a little bit neutral, close here. However, again, we have bias to the downside. So as long as price stays below this previous level or even the top of this candle, so it looks like it was just a pullback and we could potentially see another drop here. So the target would be 1.3120 level. So just looking for price to come back like that. If we take a look at the 1 hour chart, this is how it's looking. So it looks like it may drop here. So bias is to the downside. Dollar Swiss franc. We have not managed to break the low here. So right now, this looks bullish. The daily close is bullish. So in this one, I'm looking for price to come here and do one of these. So looking for a bullish move in here to come and test this previous support and resistance level, which is at 0.9420-ish level. So we could see a more pullback here for dollar Swiss franc. So the bias is to the upside for today. So we're looking at a bullish move for that. Pound, let's take a quick look at pound CAD here. Based on the daily close, we are bearish, looking for, now we are coming into support here though. So we could see price come into 1.7290 level, and that will be the critical level that will decide whether we get one of these or will the price manage to get through. So for now, for the short term, right till here, I'm looking for price to drop into 1.7290 area. But then we would have to see under live market conditions as to what happens. But for now, just looking for a bit of a drop to there. Pound yen, this is looking bearish. We are into support here though, so we do need to see a close below this level, which is 153.00. So we need to see a close below that, and then looking for price to drop. And the target here would be 152.00. So looking for the next support and resistance level here. So overall bias is to the downside, but we are into support right here. So this is an important support level. So today price bounced, but now I'm looking for price to drop further. Euro yen. Euro yen looks bearish as well. We haven't been able to break above, so looking for price to drop. And the target in this case, the first target would be 133.80 level, and second target would be 133.00. So looking for a bearish move for Euro yen. This is Aussie yen. Aussie yen as well, price hasn't been able to break this level in several days. So this is the previous support and resistance level. So if it doesn't go up, chances are it's going to go lower. So looking for price to drop. First target would be 87.65, and second target would be 87.20. So those are the two targets for Aussie yen. Let's take a look at dollar yen here. Dollar yen still bearish. We have had a bit of a pullback here. So what I would look at is, this is where we are. This is the previous support level, which is turning into resistance. So as long as price stays below 109.20, we could see price push down lower into 108.36 or even 108.20 area. So looking for price to drop. But the critical thing would be, does it stay below 109.20? And so we're looking for price to stay below that. As long as it does that, then I'm looking for this type of move. So that's what we have. Any questions or anything to add? All right, if not, we will call it a wrap. And our session tomorrow, let's start a little bit earlier. I will be here around 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. Eastern, which is the European Open. So I'm going to see how the European Open is, because a lot of times I'm seeing that price will move on the European Open, then pulls back and then drops for the London Open. So I'm going to give that a go. So I'll be here for 2 a.m. Eastern. I will see you guys then. Have a good night.